Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the third intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Goal 6 and today we have Enrichment 2, which will be presented by me, teacher Mazina Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Fawaz Al-Agil. So let's begin. Our unit that we are about to review is Unit 4, that is called Who Used My Toothpaste? And you can find it on pages from 38 until 47. The first thing we read in this unit, we did read different complaints that usually any regular family can have. So we had several conversations among family members who have problems. For example, like this one. Have you finished using my scissors? I gave them back to you. And also other one, when they said, have you cleaned up your room yet? Yes, I have already done it. So we have listened and read several complaints that could happen among any family member. So we said that it's important that we can describe, we can talk about these problems as we're going to reflect on them later on. So like this, for example, please stop playing that game. I can't stand listening to it anymore. And even this one, have you fed the goldfish yet? Yes, I have just given them some food. And finally, put away my hair dryer after you use it. Okay, and can I borrow your shampoo? So here we have a couple of problems and complaints that usually a regular family can have. And also we have talked about common complaints and problems that usually we can find in families. As you can see here, that we said that many families list the same complaints, and here we have some of them, like for example leaving dirty clothes all around the house, using someone else's hairbrush, splashing toothpaste, borrowing things and not asking first, not cleaning your room. So we have a list of complaints and problems that usually families use. And in this also we learn a couple of expressions that expression about our daily life, expression that we can use inside of our home just to describe the things that happens daily. After this, we went to the quick check questions with the vocabulary, where we completed the expressions based on the pictures. Like, for example, have you done the dishes yet? Have you fed the goldfish yet? I can't stand listening. Who used my toothpaste? So here we have a couple of expressions that's very important that we use whether in questions or in sentences. After this, we had a comprehension questions where we ask and answer questions about the pictures. For example, why hasn't the boy done the dishes yet? Or what can't the father stand? And what has the girl just given the fish? And also, what should the sister do after she uses the hair dryer? So here also we had different questions about these different pictures, and also we answer them. And also the pair work, we ask to we learn how to make questions and answer them about household chores. And we said that what do you mean by household chores is the houseworks that usually family members do. For example, have you taken the garbage out yet? We have a similar answer by saying, yes, I have already done it, or no, I haven't done it yet. So also other question about even a household chorus. Why haven't you done the dishes yet? Sorry, I forgot. I was studying. I have an exam tomorrow. And also the other part of pair work, where I ask you to imagine that you are part of the family in the pictures and try to make requests. Like, for example, please stop using my hair dryer. Don't stop using my hair dryer, please stop using my toothpaste, please turn down the music, and so on. So we said that these are some of the things that we usually do and we usually say among the families. And also questions about yourself. What do people around the house, around your house that you don't like? Then we learn how to describe the things that we don't like about our houses. For example, people eating while they are using the computer or using my things without asking. After this, we went to the grammar rule where we learned about the present perfect with already, yet, and just. And we said that we can use the present perfect to talk about events that happened before now. So it is possible sometimes that events happened earlier than expected. So for example, in questions, we usually with the present perfect, we use the question that we start our question with has and have. And with has, we use only two subject pronouns, which is he and she. With have, we use the other pronoun, and then we added to it the verb plus the past participle and the word yet. For example, have you done the dishes yet? And also with already and just, we use them as, for example, have you already washed the clothes? Have you already washed the clothes? So this is the verb in the past participle form. So whether in affirmative sentences like this, yes, I have already done them, or I have just washed them. So here it's very important that we use has, whether in questions or sentences with he and she, and have, whether in question or sentences with I, you, we, and they. So we use this word already and just, and followed by a verb in the past participle form. And the same goes with the negative form, as you can see here with hasn't and haven't. We said that, what do you mean by just? We mean by just that to indicate a short time ago when we use the word just. And when you are using the word not yet, it means that something is expected that hasn't happened, but we expect it will happen soon. And the word yet, it means that in question specifically, then this asks whether something expected has happened or not. And already this is something happened before we expected it to. So we had also answered a couple of questions about this rule. The first one, which is A, work with a partner, ask and answer about the pictures. For example, have you done the dishes yet? Yes, I have already done them. So it's very important that we know the form of writing sentence and the present perfect tense. So here we had questions like, have you set the table yet? Yes, I have already set the table. Or, no, I haven't set the table yet. So the other question we had, or we talked about, which is, what do you like to do? For example, I like reading, I like eating, swimming, playing. So it's very important that when you talk about the things that you like is to use a gerund, with the things that you like. So what do you mean by gerunds? Are these words that ends with ing. It's very important in this case that when you're talking about the things that you like to use gerunds. So we use gerund, we use the gerund form which ends with ing after the following verbs. So we have certain verbs that when we use them, they must be followed by a gerund. The verbs are avoid, enjoy, give up, imagine, mind, stop, can't stand, finish, hate, keep, miss, and suggest. And we said that these verbs followed by gerund. Like for example, I enjoy listening. I can't stand waiting, and so on. And after this, we had another exercise. Which of the following do you enjoy doing, and which of the following you dislike doing? Add your own ideas. So this is to talk about your preferences, and also to talk about the things that you like using gerunds, and the things that you can't stand, the things that you hate, even using gerunds. For example, I can't stand traveling alone. I can't stand traveling alone. So here, this is a kind of verb that we use and must be followed by a gerund. And also the following exercise where I ask you to make sentences with the words using gerunds. So here we have words like dessert, eat, after meal, after meals can't resist an eye. So I ask you to form a sentence, a full sentence, according to the form we have learned when we are when we're using the gerund form. So it will become, in this case, I can't resist eating dessert after meals. So also we have a different, we answer the other exercises similar to this one. And also we had the further of these examples, as you can see here. So it's very important that we said that to use the subject pronoun, the same form of gerund, to use the subject pronoun and the verbs, and then followed by a gerund. And also the two-word verbs. We have talked about the two-word verbs and how they are common in English. We said that, yes, we know the verb that consists of one word, but also we have words that consist, or verbs that consist of two words. And we gave examples as you can see here. We said that what do you mean by two words, which is a verb plus a particle. And we said that sometimes object pronouns always come between the verb and the particle. And if the direct object is a pronoun like me, us, you, him, her, at, them, then the direct object pronoun comes between the two parts of the two-word verb. So, for example, as you can see here, turn on the TV. We can say turn the TV on. So this is the object. We use it between the verb and the particle, or we can use a regular pronoun like turn it on. So we did answer the following sentences with this similar example that we have seen. So here, put away the toys, we put it in two ways. Put the toys away or put them away. The same with number two, clean up the mess, clean the mess up or clean it up. So we did answer the following sentences as you can see here. And so we had a couple of questions about you. Has this kind of thing ever happened to you? And where were you? And does this annoy you a little, a lot, or not at all? And what kinds of things really bother you? So these were introduction about listing the things that annoys you, the things that make you uncomfortable. So we had to mark the things that that annoy you, and also compare it with your list with a partner or even classmate. So you can express the things that annoys you by saying, I can't stand. I can't stand it, for example, when people show up late, or I can't stand it when people don't clean up after meals, or I can't stand it when people don't take out the garbage. So this helps you sometimes to express the things that you don't like or you can't stand. After this, we went straight to the listening lesson, where we listened to Ken and Jake in a conversation talking about the things that they miss mostly from home when they go to college. So we have listed the themes that they may talk about, and we ask you to put a tick mark on the things that Ken may say he misses, or even Jake. And the answers were as you can see here. After this, we talk about the pronunciation of these words in the correct space. For example, beer, board, beard, and bird, and fair, for, fear, and first. And we said that it's very important that we know where to stress each of these sounds in similar sentences. For example, share, core, hear, word. And next we have hairbrush, scissors, ear, and heard. So we said that it's very important that we differentiate these sounds when they come in different words. And after this, we had we went to the conversation lesson, and we started our conversation with couple of questions for you to think about your questions. Like, for example, do you have any obligations at home, and what do you have to do? Or do members of your family share household chores? Or do you share a room, or do other family members use your things? What things they shouldn't you share? And what things do you think it is possible to share? And what do you think are the most common problems of people sharing the same space? So here in this question, we encourage you to answer them, or even to think about them as you're going to listen to conversations similar to this about the household chores. So we listened to a conversation about Sylvia and Karen, and we have understand that Karen is very annoyed by her nephew, where he used her house and he did a lot of things that annoys her, like as we can see here, never cleaned up, or eating or putting his feet on the furniture. And at the same time, we learned a couple of important expressions in this conversation, like, for example, at long last. And we said that this expression means, when you say to someone at long last, it means that you say it when there is something that you're waiting for a long time and it finally happens. Then you use this expression at long last. And not only this, but also that is a bit too much. That is a bit too much. It means that the thing that you are describing has went too far, and so it needs to be controlled. So we have learned in this conversation, we learned how Sylvia is complaining about her nephew, and also about the things that he did with her house. And after this, we had this conversation was still needs an ending, and we learned that put yourself in Sylvia's place, and what would you do? Would you, for example, go straight to the nephew and say, please eat in the kitchen, not in here? Or, I don't know how you behave, but here we have some rules. Or, don't you think it's time to start cleaning up yourself? So after reading how is she annoyed by her nephew, so it's our part here to write down or think of appropriate ending for her. So these were the two important expressions that we have come across in the conversation. At long last, and that is a bit too much. After this, it was your turn to interview Greg about his stay with his aunt. So imagine that you know that person who he annoyed who annoys his aunt. So you interview him about about what are rules of living with others, and what are the manners that you should keep when living in people's house. We went straight after this to the reading lesson, where we started our reading lesson to think of the 3 things that other people do that irritate you the most, that makes you uncomfortable the most, and make a list of them. As we are in the reading, we can see, as you can see here, a forum, and in that forum we can read complaints that people added in this forum. So people listed the things that makes them annoyed, makes them irritated, makes them uncomfortable. So we said that you can have your own complaints. You can add your own complaints to this. So what is the forum? We said that a place where people can express their opinion, which is a website where people can explain their opinion. So after we finished this, we did, after reading this, we moved straight to the after reading questions, where we read or match the 2-word verbs with their meaning. So this was a good practice or real life practice of using the 2-word verbs, and we try to match them with their meanings, as you can see here. And also after this, we write 3 expressions that mean to irritate. When you say to someone that something irritates me, it means something annoys me, something makes me uncomfortable, something is getting under my skin. So these were the kind of expressions that we use that matches the meaning of to irritate. And also, we had further questions, answer true, false, about the complaints we have read in the forum. So here we have sentences, and we need to do either to answer them with true or false that relates to these complaints that we have read. After this, we had a discussion where about the things that listed in the reading, whether do you think that they show bad manners, bad behaviors, and if you believe so, then write the most complaint, write the most problems that you can see in your class. As a project, I ask you to interview one of the two young people who have left home to attend college and find out what they are missing the most and what are their problems that they face at that level. And then we went straight to talk about the relative pronouns, who and that. We said that we use the relative pronouns like where, or the relative clause, just to make clear which person or things we are talking about. So we use where that comes after a noun, and why we use it, just to, as we said, to clarify things. For example, he wants the wooden table which my grandmother gave me. So this is just to clarify and make the sentence clearer. So we have different relative pronouns. We have for people and for things and for places. Like, for example, for people, we use who or that, and for things, we use which and that, and for places, we use where, and we have also another relative pronoun that to show possessions, which is whose, and we can see it here in these sentences. For example, I can't stand people who or that cut in front of the line, or it is annoying when salespeople try to sell you things which or that you don't need. A further example, I dislike people whose behavior is rude. So these are how can we use the relative clauses in different sentences. And also, when we're using where for place, when we said, it annoys me when people park their cars on sidewalks where pedestrians walk. So after this, we did answer a couple of questions, read the information in the writing corner, and complete the sentences using either who, that, which, whose, or where. And as you can see here, these were the answers of exercise A. And also, this is the completion of these answers. After this, I ask you to complete this chart with the notes on impolite behavior or manners and how it affects others. So here we talk about, on the left side, some of the impolite behavior, the things that were very bad manners to do, and what are their effects. For example, talking on a cell phone in a restaurant, the effects of this action, it could annoy others or could annoy other customers. And we did write down the same with the same answers or the same idea or the same strategy. We read the impolite behavior and then we write down the effects. And after this, I ask you to write 5 entries for an internet forum about impolite behavior and how it affects others. You can use the note from the chart, and we can make similar forum that the one we can see in the reading lesson. After this, we learned the importance of must and can't, and we said that we use must to say that we are sure of something, and we use the can't to say that we think something that is impossible. And we did complete the exercises like this one. Badriya couldn't sleep last night. She must be tired. So here I am saying that I'm very sure that she is tired. But with can't, for example, Ahmed's just joking. He can't be serious. That is, it's not possible that he is serious because he's joking. So I used here in this case can't. And we did answer the other sentences as you can see here. The next part we have was so and such. We said that so and such make the meaning of an adjective or adverb stronger. So that and such that are used to show cause and effect. For example, when we use so plus adjective, and that, it means just to show the cause and the effect of that cause. For example, he is so fast. And what happened? He is so fast, and the reason or the effect of that cause, that he won the race. He won the race. So this is the effect of that cause. And also when we use so with many or much with noun and that. He has so many books that he can hardly carry them. So here, so, this is the cause, and the result or the effect of that cause is as you can see here. And finally, such plus adjective and noun and that, we said that it was such a difficult test. This is the cause. Okay, so what about the effect of that cause? It was such a difficult test that none of the students did well. So here we show that how to express the cause and effect with so and such. And also we did answer the following exercise with either can't, must, or so or such. And the answers as you can see them here. So now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.